We have a weekly Dow chart before us, MMTs, and it is Saturday morning. Basically, what we're going to be looking at is the key reversals on the Dow Jones. And in order to do that, there are some requirements that must be met, naturally. We are going to be looking down here. We're going to be taking a look that this was 11,256. The Dow closed at 11,192. This is the number that this bar is your upper end of the resistance now on the Dow, half of this weekly bar. Notice that this bar here on the weekly, this current bar, is at a certain trigger zone. And basically what it's just showing is that you can see that big minus right here. You can see that big minus bar right here, minus 64.345 ratio. And that means that for the Dow short sellers, that failure, that's a big failure in the beginning weekly price action. Just like we had a narrow range, this was a different type. It was the following week, but let's take a look at the more recent weekly reversal on the Dows. We were involved in every one of these MMTs. Basically, this videos here this week are for the newest edition of the MMT trading staff that we have put together and have let come into our domain at stockmarketfunding.com. The older MMTs who have been around for a long time are going to appreciate the fact that we're looking at a Dow reversal and that this weekly bar here, well, the difference is that when we have that weekly slide that bid, is that we have come way down here and closed at 1192, and that's well below that 11,256 right here. That's that upside, and not only that, on this weekly movement, this weekly movement right here, I'm going to populate the rest of your stuff. Watch when I hit the yellow button, MMTs. Wow, look at that thing go. Man, see that thing down here? Look at those gauges. Whoa. Anyways, now that we populated your historical data with all your diamonds, you're going to know within clicking on your info panel exactly where the this was very nice reversal up here, and it had a follow through, and you can see in your brain has a historical pattern to it all right here. So basically that half bar is 64 points. That's not good. And basically, we're going to work off of this bar right here, 11,256 ratio. What we're going to be looking at is this bid and ask ratio in these two columns here, MMTs. Okay? And basically understanding what these ratio 0.53 mean is, and what 0.4 means relative to your MMT price action failure, or when things are going up or down, so that you can buy various different ETFs, meaning that there's a bear ETF that you can buy when you have these reversals in price action. And this is very, very profoundly accurate on a weekly level because it has everything in here that you learn, MMTs. And a weekly delta is 139.86 on the Dow for next week going into options expiration. That's a one delta movement on the Dow. I mean, if I want to go to other, like if I have 1/4 delta is 34.95 for starting the week, the weekly move. A half delta is going to be 69 on the Dow. And basically, it's going to show all up right down here. See 90.52? 90.52? What happens in a weekly calculation can happen intraday as well, MMTs. So basically, we've got a reversal in play on the Dow, and we called that on Friday morning on 11/12 of 2010 in our pre-market update to our MMTs. That would be trading, and that markets were going to slide the bid, and they did, and the Dow slid a bid too. And you can see the haircut that the Dow has gotten from that high down in here to this last teeny line right there. That's 1192. That's in our platform. And that's exactly where that 1192, 11192, so I just call it shorthand, 92 handle, is where the 92 handle broke down. And you broke that half bar and you had a continuation. That's what we're going to look for over here. The minute that that happens, we are going to use various different bear ETFs that make money, because if this ratio continues to print in this mathematical equation, then you must own the bear fund relative to the Dow. And there are a couple of different ones that Brian Plain will go over you with. And other MMTs, you have a list that you can share together, because once again, we're going to have an options expiration week coming up. And there's a delta. One delta is 139 points on the Dow. That means that that's delta expansion in the SMF market maker system in the price action. And if the info panel down here is going to be print a certain way, then that means the SMF MMT profits are going to have to print along with these calculations down here, because it's going to require an execution. So when price action failure is confirmed, there's no waiting around. It's time to start scaling in those very nice trades that provide the downside movement. We've had a nice rally off of that 9,200 right here in your platform. Basically what happens, MMTs, is that this dissects past behavioral transactions within the Wall Street tape. And basically, this system shows you exactly how these lines are calculated before this ever happened. Before that move ever happened, they're weekly lines. They don't change. They change a little bit, but not much. But you can see the past performance. You can see where the crowd comes in and does its stuff. And it's all reflected right here in the MMT execution info panel. And that means I'm long. That means I'm short, and I'm walking that dog up above half of that buy action bar and getting long. I'm selling short right there when I break half of that bar. Bam, you had a 3-week down, and you came up, and it caused a nice buy. Every one of these were fake outs. There was no reversal within this up move in that weekly bar or that one. And the reason why we haven't called for a reversal, and we called for it last week, was that we were in a reversal starting on Monday through Friday, and Friday morning in pre-market on 11/12/2010. You can go look where we called a reversal. And we are just now in the very beginning stages of that price action reversal on the Dow. I will look forward to seeing everybody on the Dow Jones reversal trade. However, there are 5 days coming up. That's options expiration week, and you're going to have a lot of volatility. And it's quite common that you could run right back up and test that teeny line and roll right back over. So the volatility in the price action is going to show up in all of the indexes next week. During the options expiration, I have got a reversal. If I do not get a closing price above 11,256 and I continue to hit that going forward into next week, I will continue to get the bear. I will continue to buy and make profit where the ratio price action failure will print in the SMF MMT profit book for every one of you. So basically that's what we're going to be looking at, is price action continuation failure and what that options expiration week will bring within this last previous weekly reversal.